First of all, thank you so much for joining me today. It has been a hell of a week. It really, really has, y'all. I have been really ill. Very ill. I know. And I'm going to sort of take you through my process of this week, because it was heart opening and pretty astounding and transformational. So I just wanted to share this with you, and I'm gonna have to take it pretty gentle. I'm still weak and a little dizzy. So be patient. I know you will. And I'll see what I can do. We'll see what happens, okay? So let's start with a prayer. With great joy together today in this Awakening Together Sanctuary and later on YouTube, with great joy we come together to celebrate and co-create this circle of love. It is unconditional. It accepts and embraces everything that we like and everything that we do not like. And this week has been a week that I have not liked at all. Maybe some of you have had a similar week, I'm not sure. But we embrace it. And together we know that everything works together for our good. Blessed be, and so it is. Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are. You and me will live in peace. Well, I don't know what anything is for, unless I listen to that still small voice telling me this simple truth, that everything was for my good. So let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are. And you this next verse is something that I have totally lived, and I can't believe that I've lived it. So here we go. I'm not this body that you see. I am as God created me. We are all one family, and it's possible to live in peace. So let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are, and you and me will live in peace. Kumbaya. Thank you. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, thank you, Shauna. Oh, goodness. Okay, kids. Well, here we are. First of all, before I start talking about myself and my story, I want to send blessings to dear Arizona, whose longtime companion Tika the kitty passed this week. So we love you, Arizona, and we love you, Tika, and just send all our blessings to you. So this chapter of the Yolanda story actually begins last Sunday when I was trying to do Sounds of Awakening. And the weather was stormy over here, and so I started I was going to interview Rosemary Lore, who is an amazing person, and I really wanted y'all to get to know, but all kinds of things happened. My first song, my power went out, just went kaboom, out, everything gone, electricity all over the property, all gone, just gone, like boom. Well, that was fun. I'm like, what's going on? And I couldn't sign in on my phone because my Wi-Fi, my phone is connected to the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi was out. So that was crazy, and I didn't know what was going on. So I got in my car and turned on the radio, and there was a power outage. We were having a storm, and there was a power outage. So it said it was going to come back on in a couple of hours, but I was starting to feel bad. I had felt a little sick that day. I felt something coming on, but by the time the power went out, I started feeling worse, and I just got to where I couldn't do anything but lay on the couch in the dark and cry. Fun times. Great set up for a wonderful week. But that the lesson that I was going to share that day was actually lesson 286, The Hush of Heaven Holds My Heart Today. So, I'm going to try again to sing that song for you because it's one of my favorite lessons and one of my favorite songs. So the hush of heaven holds my heart today. The hush of heaven holds my heart today, today. Oh Lord, how still, how quietly do all things fall into place. This is the day I understand I am free. I am free. There is no need for me to do anything. Peace is here, my heart and mind at rest. Your love is heaven, and your love is mine today. In the stillness, there is hope. It lights the way as I travel far to my certain goal of oneness with love, oneness with love. There is no doubt what my heart has promised me, promised me. The hush of heaven heart today. The hush of heaven holds my heart today. Today. Oh, goodness. Wow. Well, that was truly the perfect lesson to start off my week, because there was nothing else I could do but be quiet, you know, and let love lead the way. And so it got worse. Oh, yes, it did. Overnight. Yay, it got worse. So, overnight, I began to develop a fever, and I got really scared because it felt very, very high. And you know, it was the middle of the night. I didn't want to go to the emergency room. I just I just felt like I could sleep my way through it. And I had some flu remedies around here and cold medicines and stuff. And so I just, I took those. They helped me sleep a little, but the fever got bad. It got really, really bad. And it finally broke Monday morning, and I felt the, you know, wet and chills and all of that leave, but I still had this super bad headache, and I still had a fever, but it wasn't like super high or any, you know, it was more like, I don't know, normal fever. I don't know what you want to call it, but it didn't feel like super serious anymore. So I waited another day to go to the doctor. I'm being like Glenn. I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to go to the doctor. You know? So I went through that day, Monday, just kind of rolling around and feverish, and couldn't really do anything. In fact, I could barely get up to feed my kitties, and they were mad. They're like crawling all over me, like, oh no, get off. I'm like, yeah. But I finally had to be a good mom and get up and feed them, but I went right back to the couch. I've been sleeping on this couch. And I wasn't really feeling any better. Let me see what the lesson was for Monday that I was looking at. Oh yes. How cute. The past is over. It can touch me not. Okay. Okay, the past is over. Am I, you know, so then I started thinking about the loop of experience. Not to beat myself up. What am I, you know, what am I Because, I don't do that. Like, oh, I have this thought and then this, happens, because I didn't think right, or whatever. I didn't, but I was just sort of, contemplating the loop of experience and just sort of, I don't know, that was helpful. And then, I think I was able to make it to meditation that morning, just listening. But I think it was a Monday morning where Anne's teaching revolved around a poem that was very simple, and it just said, welcome, welcome, welcome. So, and then there was more, but that's what I remember. And, it was about welcoming everything, just like in the Rumi poem, even if it's a tour group of sorrows, I'll be grateful for all who come. And so I decided that I would try that instead of, why is this happening? Like really getting all freaked out. Because, why is this happening? Like makes it worse and makes me suffer. So I'm like, well, at least even if I still feel bad, at least maybe I won't, put myself through a bunch of suffering. And that was the case. So every time, I would notice my head pounding and I would say, welcome, welcome headache. And then my stomach nauseous, I would say, welcome, because I haven't been able to eat. And it's only yesterday and today that I've been able to eat much at all. So I was nauseous and sick and I wanted to eat, but I couldn't. So I'm like, welcome, nausea, welcome, and and it really worked. I mean, excuse me, my perspective shifted, and I think the loop of experience for me shifted. I mean, in the sense that I was changing what I was thinking about what I was experiencing. You see what I mean? Like, it helped for me to welcome everything and just see my perception change. And it didn't make my body stuff go away, but it did really keep me from suffering. I wasn't suffering, although I was feeling horrible. Absolutely horrible. And that was profound. That was profound for me. I think that might be the first time that I've ever dealt with a bodily thing in that way, to welcome it. So once again, I tried to sleep, and I was just sleeping day and night, like all the time, and taking Theraflu and just on and on. Well, by Tuesday, nothing was going away. It hadn't really changed or anything. So I realized, okay, I've got to call it the doctor. So I had they gave me an appointment for, well, actually that same day, Tuesday, it was a walk-in. This is something new. coughing, and that's new. How about that? Welcome. Welcome. Anyway, so I went to the clinic on Tuesday, and she was like, well, there's nothing wrong with you. And I'm like, yes, metaphysically you're correct. However, there are things happening that I would like to have some help with. And so she said, well, basically try X, Y, and Z, and it was over-the-counter stuff. It was a little stronger than what I was, taking, and, call me in the morning if there's no change, So I did. Oh, but trust me, driving that day, Lord have mercy, because, I can't get anywhere here on there's no public transportation, so I have to drive. And I'm like dizzy and headachy and nauseous and navigating mountain roads, and I'm just like praying all the way. I bow to thee, O God, infinite wisdom. Carry me through. I got down the hill into the clinic, and so she said, yeah, okay, great, nothing's wrong. You got a bug. People have, it's going around. Go try these things. So I came back home. I took all the meds she suggested. I was exhausted to the nines, and I tried to go back to bed, and in and out of sleep, still can't eat, still nauseous, and wake up the next morning feeling not any much better at all, really, and remembered that I had an appointment to get the cats neutered. Lord, y'all. So first of all, I called the doctor and said, nothing, it didn't work. So, can you see me again and give me something more? She said, yes. Can you come in on Wednesday? And I'm like, oh, Lord. Yes. I also have to take the cats, and okay, there's a time gap there where I drop them off and pick them up later. So, yeah. So, even more driving. I'm running around up and down Route 30, blah, and then I'm going here, then I'm going there, and running all around, and, So, my second doctor's appointment said, oh, I forgot to add this little gem. The flu symptoms had begun to subside, really, so that was actually feeling a little better. The fever, the bad fever was gone. The sort of, okay, I can handle it sort of headachy fever was still there. But it sure didn't help driving, so I'm driving around being dizzy and weird and all kinds of sick, and have any of you ever done that? It's so hard to drive when you're sick. But I went to the doctor, and he was like, oh yeah, you're sick. It's a different doctor this time. Oh, I forgot to tell you a little add-on before I got to the doctor on Wednesday. So, a new fresh hell appeared. And it was continuous hiccuping. Now, I mean, like, not like, I know, not like little gentle thing, but like, you know, gut wrenching hiccuping of all things. And I couldn't, I tried everything, the breathing in the bag and the ice and the this and the that and everything. You just biting a lemon, like, what, you know. No, hiccups are here to stay. So add that to the list of weirdness. So by the time I got to the doctor, I was hiccuping and not really coughing, but like it was just nauseous and like headachy. And so he goes, "Yeah, you're sick." So he gave me some kind of hiccup medication. I didn't know there was such a thing. I was hoping there was, but boy, I didn't take it till I got home, thank God, because I had to go get the cats. Then I let the cats out. They were mad at me. And I was like, okay, it's all right, be mad. I gotta lie down. So I take all these new meds, and wow, kaboom, I'm knocked out. I don't know what was in those meds, but woo, knocked me out, girl. Which was good, I guess, because I needed some rest. And when I woke up the next day, the hiccups were gone. So yay. Now let's see if I can remember what lesson was going on that day. Oh, yes. My present happiness is all I see. Unless I look upon what is not there, my present happiness is all I see. This is the day I seek my present happiness and look on nothing else except the thing I seek. Well, that's convenient, because I was pretty happy about not having the hiccups. But that was, you know, that sort of followed with me throughout the day. But the main thing that followed with me was still welcoming. Like, I welcomed the hiccups. I welcomed, you know, the drugs. I welcomed the sleep. I welcomed the nausea, which was still there. I just kept welcoming it, welcoming. And, whew. So, you know, the doctor told me to call him back if it didn't work, if things didn't work out. But fortunately, the hiccuping did stop. Except for another round of a fresh hell. Which was, I can't, it's so hard to describe. I don't even know how to describe it. It wasn't like the hiccups, but it was a choking. Like, I would just be breathing, and out of the blue, I would get this, like that, like, and then that became a constant, like this gasping every 5 seconds. it wasn't like the hiccups where it was like a different feeling. It was mostly I could breathe okay and everything, but then just this gasping. Like I was gasping for air or something, and wow, that was just as hard to deal with as everything else. So, took more drugs, went back to sleep. By now it's, I don't know, I think it's Friday or something by now. and and I wake up and everything's gone. Everything's gone. Except for this sort of weakness, which I'm still sort of feeling. I'm shaky and a little bit weak, but all the other symptoms were gone. So yay. What was the lesson for that day? This is a day of stillness and peace. This day my mind is quiet to receive the thoughts you offer me, and I accept what comes from you instead of from myself. I do not know the way to you, but you are wholly certain. Father, guide your Son along the quiet path that leads to you. Let not my forgiveness be complete, and let the memory of you, it says let my forgiveness be complete, and let the memory of you return to me. Now, this was interesting for me because I've begun to substitute the word forgiveness for the word surrender. And so that's truly what I feel has been going on here, is just constant surrender, which to me is forgiveness of myself, of the universe, of God, of all things bad. Surrender and welcome what's going on. So, yesterday arrived, and it was all sunshiny around here, and, my heart was full of joy, actually, and I could breathe again without gasping, and the cats were beginning to warm up to me again. Because I was pretty lousy. I mean, I would feed them, but I'd be like, stumbling and dropping food everywhere and all this, and I was just kind of a mess. And so they were like, don't know about her. I think I'm going to stay away from her for a minute. But finally, by Saturday, yesterday, all of it dropped away. And all I can say is, blessed be. I'm grateful. And I'm welcoming. I'm surrendered. Oh, and I wanted to tell you, through all of this experience, one of the nights that I was struggling with sleep, I had this profound spiritual experience, and it was transformative and almost, I don't know, out of body maybe, but it was like a real experience. Like it wasn't a dream. And what it was I actually saw the stream of consciousness flowing between me and the cats and the people I love, including you guys. I saw it, like visually and experientially. It was like I felt it flowing through me, from me, to me, in what I can only describe as, it looked like dotted lines, different colors of dotted lines. And it was just beautifully dancing around and through and everything. And it was, I was in a perfectly white, completely pure white space. It was completely not of this world. And even, I dare to say, beyond time and space. It was such a different type of experience that I've ever had. So I stayed in that experience for I don't know how long, but when I finally woke up, it was like 5 or 6 in the morning. So I think it was quite a while. I mean, I don't know. Or at least it felt like quite a while. So with all of this, I just wanted to share with you, I think the key to everything for me right now is surrender and welcome. Surrender and welcome. Everywhere I go and everything I do, I rest in God. Everything I see and everything I feel, I rest in God. 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 Teach only love, for that is what you are, and rest in God. Teach only love, for that is what you are. Just rest in God. 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 I am not a body, I am free, and I rest in God. I am as God created me, and I rest in God. 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 Thank you, my friends. Oh, well, honestly, y'all, I think that's all I can do for today. I know it's kind of early. However, thank you for joining me. Thank you, Shauna. Thanks so much for joining me, and know how much I love you, and listen to the voice that likes you. She will tell you that we are one, and she will tell you how to act like it. Blessed be. Namaste.